Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica and today we are having like a big project because we don't have that much money, but we have to build a house on a 50 by 40 lot. And this house is actually for my legacy challenge. I'm only getting started, so we are not that rich now, but I think we will get rich a bit later because you might remember that we did have like a disastrous marrying for money wedding because we didn't get a lot of money from that wedding because our husband didn't turn out to be rich, to say so. And also, I got a notification that I'm gonna get like money if I get married. But I did get like 5,000 simoleons, and I also did get only like 2,000 from my husband from his household after we got married because I do not take all the money from him. I just did take like a proportional piece of money, like value of himself. It's wrong to say so, but that is what I got from marrying a man. And it turned out that we did earn like only 10,000 from whole marrying stuff, but I think that I did spend like maybe half this money on the wedding itself, but it's okay. Like we didn't plan on getting that rich, but actually I did plan on getting that rich, but I did not. So now we are building a house with spare 10,000 simoleons and on 40 by 50 lot. And actually I think that I did have like more money because I had some stuff for myself. Like I had some expensive stuff for my cat. I also did have some expensive stuff from my own scene, and this way, this lot, like without the lot value, it turned out to be like somewhere around 16,000 millions, but it's more, of course. And actually, I think that it's built in the end turned out quite decent, I think. And you might have seen that I did struggle a lot with the roofing, and I did make it like a tiny lot residential still. Yes, on 40 by 50 lot, it's still a tiny lot residential, even though it's a proper house, not just a cabin with a greenhouse outside. It's like a big, huge, not huge, like from the money we did have, it's huge house. Like we have a proper bedroom, we now have a kitchen dining area, we also have a bathroom, we have a living room, and we have a cat spot. Like you will see that I will place a big cat tree now. My cat is going to be happier, I hope. And we have like this huge lot to landscape. And you will see how I did turn this out, but for now I'm just furnishing the house. And I did want to place a desk here with a computer, and in the end we'll only have a desk. I won't have a computer because I have had to sell that. And that happened only because I didn't have enough money for landscaping. And yes, I didn't have enough money, so I did landscape with debug cheats. So we had all the money in our hands, like with all the landscaping in our hands. Like it's all was mostly almost all. It was 10 millions or 0 millions. But I ended up having to have some money. And so I did sell some stuff from the house, and you will see that I will place a debug eco lifestyle TV because it's only 25 millions. It's not that expensive. I can afford it for me. And I did divide like the whole kitchen dining area because, as I have said before in my previous builds, I do not like when the smell of food like spreads all around the house because sometimes it can be too much, especially when you're full and it smells like food everywhere and you are starting to feel sick because of it. So in this house, we have like a cat area, as I said, we have a proper bedroom, proper bathroom, and proper kitchen. And I think that is like really good stuff we could buy with all the money we had. And I did get a wraparound porch, and that is expensive because you have to buy all the fences, all the columns, all the spandrels, some stairs and stuff. And that is not cheap too, but I really wanted to have that. And I do not care that it's expensive. Now our house like literally has three exits to the all the area around. And you will see how I did figure out the area around because we have a lot of space around the house. And I did actually make most of it not usable. Like we have a lot of flowers around, we'll have a lot of trees around and a lot of bushes around where your Sims, of course, cannot walk and they cannot do anything in there, but it looks pretty, I think. And now I'm starting doing some landscape, and I actually tried to play with some terrain tools in here, but I decided that that was a bad idea because the whole debug landscaping was clipping weirdly, it was like attaching weirdly, so I decided to quit that idea because it didn't look good. So you will see me like trying to do some stuff with some terrain tools and quitting just because it did not work, it wasn't worth it. And I didn't have enough money to buy a proper fence in this game, so I had to get some debug fences. And I think that I did pick one of the ugliest ones because there are some like broken pieces of these fans. But in the end, I think it turned out like really pretty. Like this, you can see from the outside that this house is not that expensive, but maybe people did put in some work to make it look nice. And you will see me make it like a lot of flowers. Like all the area around is gonna look really overgrown. And it actually was intentional because I really like how it looks. And because of that, this slot can be glitchy, of course, because we are using millions of stuff from debug. But if you're not afraid of this slot being glitchy, you can download it from my gallery. It's there like from the Sunday morning, I think. Like I did post it there on my Sunday morning, and I did call it with this lot name and like it started home. I've already forgot how this lot is called and I cannot see it now because there I did forget to close cheat window again as I usually do. You can see that like maybe in all of my builds. And now you can see me trying to figure out a greenhouse. We are still having that. And I'm not deleting that because it's like a really nice money making tool in the game. Like I'm using that a lot. And if you're having like a simple living lot trade, it actually can be useful because you can grow stuff you're gonna eat. And that is much cheaper than ordering stuff you're gonna eat. So I'm doing it like that. And sometimes when I did try to have like this, more detailed roof curve, I accidentally did pick a wrong button and I did make some unintentional screenshots. I'm really sorry if you did see that notification, but I don't think it did bother you that much. And now I'm just placing the stuff around my greenhouse. I did have to sell more stuff from the house again. I did sell a computer now. And this way I did actually manage to buy a flower arranging table and a couple of these like, planting stuff where you can either plant some just regular plants or you can just plant their oversized crops. And I really like planting oversized crops this way because it's like a really easy and simple money making tool because they do not require that much of your attention. Like you can go to them like maybe once a day and you can get like really decent money from selling them afterwards. Like you can get more than 2000 simoleons from one crop. And see me defining some of the like I don't know flower beds, and I actually ended up expanding that because I didn't like the way it looked. I wanted more. And you can actually also see me trying to add a pond. This is like actually me playing with terrain tools. I'm not doing that really well, but I did make like a tiny island in the middle of a pond where I did place a big tree. And when I will skip into the game, you will see that I did change some of the stuff I'm doing now later, like off camera, because I just didn't like the way it looked. Like I did place gravel all around the lot, but I did end up removing that in some parts, like in greenhouse, and I did place there these like tiny debug stones, and this way I just did set the like tiny pathways in the greenhouse, and they did not turn out to be tiny, and I think that maybe I did spend more time doing this like stone pits in the greenhouse than I did spend doing all the rest of the house. You might see that this build is like really sped up because I did speed it up like 7 times. Like it's 7 times the speed I did build it in, and I did spend like some hours doing that. And I did place like really a lot of flowers outside. You will see like, you know, all the rest 4 minutes of this video, which speed up 4 minutes, of course, is only me doing some debug landscaping, like placing flowers, placing grass, and placing other stuff. And I did cut out some of that because you do not need to see me trying to figure out stuff again and again. And this pond, I did manage to make it maybe only with fourth or fifth attempt. So I think it turned out like really nice. And I did pick this like, sparkly water. We can pick some water. I did want to place some kind of muddy one at first, but like, a typical pond. It's usually muddy. It's not that clear as the water I did pick in the end, but this sparkling water is so beautiful. So I couldn't resist myself and I did place it in the end. I hope you like the way it turned out, and now you see me placing all the flowers I can find in debug. Like I'm placing flowers from base game mostly, and also from get together. I didn't go further in debug. I wanted to, but I had to stop myself because like we do not have to. And if I can, doesn't mean that I have to. And I could, but I didn't. And I did place like millions of flowers all around the house. And maybe it's just the fact that I couldn't stop because I felt like I do not want to have any empty gaps. I want it all to be filled, and I did make it all filled. And you maybe see that I'm just placing like a regular grass around the house and doing stuff like that, and I did place it literally everywhere. So maybe for somebody this whole lot will look like a bit dirty, but it does look dirty for me. It looks like a bit overgrown, but it looks like a cozy overgrown kind of lot. And if you didn't know, debug is like a really useful thing. And I'm not going to place like how to get debug cheats on my video. Like I think like it's either you know that or you can Google that. It's not that hard. Like you can just Google how to get into debug in The Sims 4, and the internet will tell you what to do. And that is not that hard. Like you need only two cheats to do that, but they are long, so I'm not gonna place them in the video. And I did place here some trees because I thought that if we have that much flowers and that much bushes, why don't I place much trees in there? And you might have seen that I did place like a tiny tree in the middle of a pond. I ended up switching it to like a big ivy, I think it is. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know yet. But like not yet, like I just don't know. So you now see me doing some terrain paint, and I did that in the end because I did not struggle with terrain tools, but I know that a lot of simmers did. And I am like a bit afraid of turning like seeing these terrain glitches because I do spend sometimes a lot of time doing my terrain paint, but I really hope that I will not struggle with that, and I did not. And you can see me placing these like gravel walkways in the greenhouse. I will end up removing them because in the end, I really do not like them. And I did place like these tiny stones pathway, like custom ones. You will see that later when I'll skip into the game and show it to you. But I think it turned out like really majestic. And you know, you might remember that like a little bit about my legacy sim. My sim is evil, so she is like a loner a bit. It's in my opinion. I did not set her that kind of trait, but she did get married like just now, but she's soon getting divorced, or maybe her husband is going to be mysteriously killed, or he's just gonna die somehow. Who knows? Who knows? I do not know. And saying that, I think let me skip into the game and show you what this house turned out to be in the very end. So, welcome to the Twin Oracle starter home. And you see me having like this pond, this like bigger tree, like a low one in the middle of pond. I did place like a couple of other debug trees. And also I did place like these different terrain to say so. And like this stone, like this almost all of them are individual stone, except like, these ones, which are a couple. And I did make the pathways to every of these planter in here and also around the cow plant in here. It looks silly, I know, but I just like the way it looks. And I did make like this pathway in the dirt in here too. And so we have like all these big bushes around the area. I did end up switching this tree too because it just did lock the view for me. Now also did place like more flowers around, like yes, even more, as I just said. And here is our house. I did end up switching the roof to these like green shingles and shingles, I hope it's called. I'm not sure, and we ended up like having zeros millions left in the end. And here is the interior of the house. Like here we go inside, here we have some tiny carpet. Also here we have like this boring, I know it's really boring living room because we have nothing on this wall and nothing in here except for this flower, of course. Here we have like cat toy box. Also here we have this litter box. Here we have this like dark kitchen now. It's dark because this light didn't turn off on. I'm sorry. And in the kitchen we don't have any curtains because I do not want to catch them on fire from the stove. And here we have like this boringish, I would say, room, bathroom. Here we have like our toilet we had before. Also here we have our shower. But also I did buy a sink and a curtain because we have a window in our bathroom because I wanted it to look like all even and nice. And here we have our cat tree in the hallway. I think the cat is going to enjoy herself in here. And here is our bedroom. Here we have a pretty bed. Also we have some curtains around and we have like now useless desk without a computer in here. But I think that like in a little while in the game I'm just gonna buy a computer. It's not going to be that long because I have all of these money makers in here. And also, this pond like is supposed to be some kind of a patio, but we do not have it yet because I did run out of money. And that is like pretty much the build. Like that's not much to say about because you have just seen me building that, and you might remember that you can also watch me playing Legacy Challenge where I'm gonna use that build. And also in the Legacy Challenge, I'm gonna playtest this whole build, how it works. But like it looks really overgrown. You can see how many trees I have in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trees we have in here. And so these can be glitchy a bit, but these trees match. You see, like there are trees like that around the area too. I didn't place like these evergreen ones, but you get what I mean. So I think that is going to be. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to my channel and goodbye.